introduce you to the Ford Ranger Tremor package. It's a 2021. Just picked it up a couple weeks ago from the dealership. Now, I'm sure you've probably seen a ton of other Tremor videos out there and reviews from non-Ford Ranger owners, frankly, who had all the specs from the dealership and gave you, a good review. That's not what this review is about. This review is about the Tremor package itself versus the FX4 package. I had a 2019 Ford Ranger with the FX4 package on it, so we're going to sort of compare and contrast the two here a little bit today and just give you an overall sense of what the Tremor is. Also, stay tuned to the end of the video. I'll show some invoicing and window stickers from the dealership to give you an idea how the prices and costs have changed and what it might cost to upgrade to the Tremor. Okay, so let's just start with an overall walk around of a Tremor. You got your badge on the back, upgraded tires, hoop steps on the side, different front with those red nostrils. And as far as on the exterior goes, that's the only thing other than the improved suspension. Let me get under here and show you the Fox shocks. There you go, and there's your leaf springs as well. But that on the exterior is what makes a Tremor a Tremor. So the two interior aspects that make a Tremor are the upholstery, which I've got mine covered. I'll have to throw up a photo here for you, but there is some special quasi leather, fake leather, and then micro suede type inserts here in the seats, and it says Tremor across here, as you've seen in other videos. But the other awesome thing about the Tremor on the inside that makes the Tremor a Tremor are these 6 auxiliary rocker switches. You can see I've got my Midland GMRS radio hooked up to one. You just flip these down when you want to turn them on, but they're easily accessible right up there on the front left of the hood, and I'll show you that here in a second. But that makes it super convenient for anyone who's interested in overlanding or putting a winch on, hooking up an air compressor, ditch lights, light bars, everything else like I've done with my radio. The fuse box for those switches is right up here, just under the hood. There's your fuse boxes. And then tucked down in here when you get the truck, these wires that go to those 6 auxiliary switches. I'm using one here, as you can see, from my Midland radio, GMRS radio. But that's how you access those wires for those switches. So let me show you now. You might be saying, well, I know there's other 4x4 features on the truck of the Tremor. So let me show you a few of those that are also on the FX4 package. For example, you have your 2 front tow hooks that are on the Tremor, you see there, that also come on the FX4 package. And if you get underneath, you've got your steel bash plate here up front. And hopefully you can see underneath there, you've got some underbody protection as well in some of the vital areas. That also comes on the FX4 package. If we run around to the rear of the truck, there normally is 2 tow hooks on the back. If you opt for that tow package, you're going to lose those 2 tow hooks. So on the exterior, that's included in the FX4 and the Tremor package. So jumping back up into the cab here, also on the FX4 package and the Tremor, 4 high, 4 low, and the terrain management system, again, which you can see in other videos. Trail control, which is essentially cruise control for trail riding, makes things a little easier for some people, I suppose. I never really find a use for it. And the locking rear differential. That's the 4-wheel drive equipment that's also on the FX4. Both interior here with the 4-wheel drive and on the exterior with the tow hooks, bash plates, and Under Armour protection. So here's the cost breakdown for the Tremor. If you're on the XLT series, you're going to be another $1,670 for this Equipment 301 group upgrade. It's mandatory. And then for the Tremor package itself, an additional $4,290. Is that worth it? Well, here are a few thoughts I've got. So your average buyer, are they going to be happy, or could they get by with the FX4 package? I think 100% absolutely yes. I had it. It was great. It did everything I needed it to do. However, the most important thing of the Tremor for me was that upgraded suspension. Those Fox shocks I showed you earlier with those leaf springs, there's increased suspension travel in the front and the rear. And I'm telling you, the FX4 package would rock you side to side over bumps and little whoopsie-doos in the road and uneven terrain. And the Tremor feels more like a full-size, heavier pickup with this suspension. It's just pretty darn incredible. And you take that, combined, at least for me, what I do in the outdoors, with the added ground clearance of the bigger tires, the 0.8-inch lift, the hoop steps that were cool but not necessary, but for me and the rocker switches, it was worth it, which is why I upgraded. It was a splurge for sure. Could you get by doing the FX4 package and putting on this same size tire on a stock Ranger? Yes, you can do that. I did that in my 2019 FX4. So you get some of that extra ground clearance and a little bit better look from just a slight, half an inch increase in height. You get some of that by doing that. But even still, to buy new tires on a new truck or one that's slightly used, you're going to be in this, environment, $1,200 to $1,600 for some, basic all-terrain tires that are decent. So, in my opinion, I'm just over the hills happy with the Ford Tremor. All right, we just hooked on to our family camper. It's a little over 21 feet, about 3,000 pounds. We're gonna see how this baby tows. Here's another quick thing I can show you when you're backing up onto a trailer with this 8-inch screen. This isn't anything specific to Tremor, but there's this plus button up here where you can zoom the camera in on your hitch, so it's a lot easier to get that ball where it needs to go. So in my 2019 Ranger that tows the same exact amount, 7,500 pounds, I hooked onto that 25-foot trailer. It was a 6,000 pound trailer dry weight, and it was just too much, frankly. But with this 21-foot trailer at 3,000 pounds, I've got still plenty of power in this Ranger Tremor, plenty of speed. I've got a trailer brake hooked up, which I'll show you here in a minute, but it's a really comfortable sized trailer to tow in these Ford Rangers. I mentioned this earlier, but I just yesterday had Ford install the trailer brake right here. And this is pretty slick. It's a lot smaller than usually you see these. You just twist it one way or another to increase or decrease the amount of assistance that those brakes are giving you on your trailer. Yeah, I mean, you can see where it's mounted here to the left bottom of the steering wheel, but that was an expensive proposition. There's about 3 or 4 hours of work there for the dealership to get that on there, and the part itself is $350. So you're gonna pay $600 to get that trailer brake put on there. So just start budgeting that in, whether you're buying a used truck or one that's brand new. So one of the cool things that I also want to show you about the interior, you'll see that this is an 8-inch color push button swipeable screen from Ford. This is an upgrade over since 2019, even on just the XLT package. But it's Apple CarPlay friendly, so it's capable so that when you connect your USB into your phone, Apple CarPlay essentially kicks in. And what's cool about that is that this big 8-inch display essentially becomes your phone. So every compatible app, music, texts, phone, contacts, navigation, all that stuff comes up here in the front. And again, it is swipeable. So for example, I can go to my text messages all from the road and send a text message.
Who do you want to send it to?
Katie Amazing Willis. That's my wife, by the way. Katie, you are the best. Hunting took a lot longer than expected. See you when I can! Exclamation point.
Your message to Katie Amazing says, Katie, you are the best. Hunting took a lot longer than expected. See you when I can. Okay, it's sent.
Boom. So here's why I like these little steps. When you've got a small child, getting in and out of the car can become a chore. Get in, babe.
I'm almost 5.
I know, you're almost 5. When there's that step there, though, it's easy. Here's why I don't like the side steps. I don't feel like I need them to get out of the truck. And then it kind of makes me stand up again just to get out. But if you try to step down the whole thing all at once, you know, your leg gets caught right there on that side step. And this stuff is really gritty and it hurts. A few other things just to let you know what I've done with the truck that was aftermarket. I bought those Ranger decals from the dealership. They're essentially metal plates with 3M stickers that you can put in there in that embossment to make that Ranger stand out. Looks pretty sharp. I obviously have a shell on here. It's an exact match, that magnetic Ford color to the magnetic trim of the wheel wells, the wheels, even the front and rear bumpers. So that was from the dealership after I bought it. I've got a hood deflector on here that I think looks pretty sharp in a smoke color. And of course, as you saw just a second ago as well, I cover my cloth on the interior. As you can see, I've got a 4-year-old turning 5. And besides that, I mean, I hunt in this truck, I off-road in this truck, we breed chocolate labs, and I just need seat covers for when and if I want to sell, keep it in good condition. And one thing that's not on the truck yet that will be here in a few days are these rigid ditch lights that I've got. So those are going on here soon as well, and those will also hook into those rocker switches up front in the cab. Here's the back. I bought this from the factory. It's sort of a bed liner. It's not rubber, it's a plastic, but it works really well. I've got one for the tailgate ready to be picked up at the dealer. But I heard some chatter that there weren't tie downs here in the back, but as you can see, there are clearly tie downs. There are 4 of them. But anyway, drop a comment, let me know, subscribe if you want to keep track with us. Appreciate you watching.